are you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Hey, I'm so delighted that you've come to visit me today. Whenever I see you, I feel that my day is brighter.
Thanks, Grandma. You know I come because you make the best cassava.
I know you love your food. It will be ready in a minute.
I do
By the
love
way,
my
how is
food.
work at KEMRI?
Work is fine. You know we're quite busy at the moment. We receive samples in the laboratory from different researchers and then we process them.
You must be a big fish by now. Looking by the nice shoes you are wearing.
Anyanya. But I try my best.
Tell me more. I want to tell my chama when they come tomorrow. They've been saying KEMRI takes blood. What is it that you do in the labs?
So well, it is not entirely wrong that we take blood, but we use the lab to process and store samples from research projects. These research projects aim to find better ways to prevent and treat diseases for now and the future, for the benefit of the community and everyone else.
Who gives you permission to do research projects? And how do you get the participants?
Before we do any kind of research work, we have to get permission from an ethics review committee. Once we get the permission, we are then able to go to the community and ask members of the community if they are happy to participate. These can be healthy people from the community or some who are unwell and have come to the health facility to seek health care. Once they are happy to take part and they give us permission, they sign a consent form and all their participation is voluntary.
Ah, okay, I understand. But what does it mean when one gives voluntary consent to participate?
Well, Grandma, it means that the researcher has explained what the study is all about to a participant, and the participant has understood. At this point, the participant is able to make a free decision to participate or take part in the study. Some of these studies involve collecting body samples like saliva, urine, mucus, or even blood.
Oh, yes, blood. No wonder I hear people from the market complaining that KEMRI takes blood from people for research projects.
So sometimes the researcher may only want to use one of the blood components, for example, the red blood cells. That means that the other components like the white blood cells and the plasma are available for storage in special freezers. But these can only be stored if the people who participated in the research have given permission for the storage and future use. The place where these remaining samples are stored is called the biobank. And this is the place where the special freezers are.
This biobank, is it like a bank that is used for saving money?
Not quite, Grandma, but I can tell you more if you have the time.
Go right ahead, Zawadi. I better make time because I want to explain this to my friends.
Okay, Grandma. So, those remaining components will be put in a small tube. This tube has a number which is called a code. And this number is a random number like M24. The code is used so that no one can know whose sample it is for and who it belongs to. It does not have a name on it.
How will you know which sample is which? How will you know if it's Katana's or it's Kazo's sample?
I won't be able to know because I only see the code and the information about the sample, but not the participant's name at all. However, there's only a small group of researchers who have this information safely stored in a computer that has a password. No one else has access to this computer or this information that links the sample to the participant.
Juku wangu. If they cannot know whose sample it is, then why keep them? I thought they could use my stored sample whenever I go to the hospital instead of asking for fresh ones.
That's a very interesting way of thinking about it. But to explain further, have you heard about dengue fever?
It even affected your cousin brother Atana. He was admitted at Kilifi Hospital. They said it was dengue fever. What is this world coming to?
I understand your concern, Grandma. You remember when I was telling you about storing samples in the special freezers? Well, when researchers want to use these samples, they must get special permission from the National Ethics Review Committee but also from the lab management committee. In the case of dengue fever, researchers have been able to use stored samples to look at the amount of dengue fever in Kilifi over the past 25 years. They realized that there was less dengue fever back in the 90s, but the number went up over the years.
What caused this?
Scientists are also trying to answer those same questions.
Okay.
So scientists at KEMRI are working with other researchers from other parts of the world to try and understand if they are observing similar trends.
Okay.
But this is only possible if the other scientists are willing and able to share samples and information from their countries. Through sharing of samples and this information, we can learn about what causes diseases, how they spread, and how their patterns have changed over the years.
So biobanks are important, eh?
Yes, Grandma, they really are.
So should I take my samples to biobank? You said you take blood, or should I spit in a cup?
I think not at the moment, Grandma. At least not at the KEMRI Biobank yet. You know, in other parts of the world, people walk in and give samples voluntarily, but we are not yet there. I will let you know when we get there someday.
But sometimes our food even goes bad while in the fridge. Are they like those Coca-Cola fridges?
Not quite, Grandma. These are very special freezers that are used to store samples for a very, very long time under very low temperatures. So samples can be stored for many years without losing their quality. With biobanks, we can learn a lot of things, but we will still need fresh samples from the community. You know why? Because some research studies still need fresh samples to answer their questions.
Today I feel educated. I've learned so much. I've learned about biobanks, sharing samples, keeping samples in those special freezers. I feel like one of the KEMRI researchers. All what I need is just a white lab coat.
Grandma.
Let's go and eat our cassava coconut.
Yes, I'm quite hungry, in fact.
I wish I had one of these special freezers to keep my coconut cassava.
Oh, Grandma, we don't even have electricity.